The girl was washing her face when she suddenly felt her chin puffing up. Rushing to a mirror, she found her mouth had sharpened to a point. To her horror, her voice had changed too, and she uncontrollably started pecking at the table with her mouth. Her friend quickly rushed over to check on her. The next second, the girl had morphed into a large hand, leaving her friend in utter disbelief. This shocking turn of events resulted from a piece of candy that the girl had accepted from a stranger and evil witch in disguise. Don't be fooled by their fine clothing, for they are extremely dangerous. They all despise human children, and their sole goal is to wipe them all out. Witches from around the world gather here to conspire on their sinister plans. At that moment, a child was hiding and playing under the stage. One of the witches locked the main door as they prepared to reveal their true forms. As one witch removed her gloves, she had only 3 fingers. She took off her shoes to reveal a single toe, and even her hair was fake. This was their leader, the Grand High Witch. A young witch interrupted her speech and was instantly turned to ash. Lorimer, witnessing all of this, was completely stupefied. Then, the Grand High Witch brought out a bottle of blue potion, claiming a single drop would turn any child into a mouse. She pledged to transform all the children in the world into little mice. As soon as she finished her statement, all the witches underneath the stage started applauding with their peculiar fingers. Suddenly, the Grand High Witch shrieked she had caught the scent of a human child. Lifting a wooden plank, she found nothing. As she approached the air duct, a chubby boy knocked on the door. Upon entering, he demanded chocolate, unaware of the imminent danger. The boy ate the chocolate given to him by a stranger, and the next second, he began convulsing and then shot up into the air. Once the dense smoke cleared, his body disappeared into thin air, and the chubby boy was transformed into a little mouse. Turns out, he had been afflicted with the Grand High Witch's magic. Then, the witches relentlessly stomped on the chubby boy with their shoes. Amid the chaos, a small white mouse appeared and dragged the boy into an air duct where another human child was hiding. The Grand High Witch opened the duct, yanked Lorimer out, and dropped the blue potion into his ear. Consequently, Lorimer was flung into the air and transformed into a tiny mouse. Before Lorimer could react, he was pinned down by his tail by the Grand High Witch. The little white mouse quickly ran over and bit the Grand High Witch's finger. In response, she extended her arm to an incredible length. At the very moment of danger, the children fell down the duct, while the Grand High Witch got her finger stuck in the fan. Thinking their grandmother could save them, the children undertook a challenging journey to reach her residence, only to be discovered by a custodian. Startled, the custodian hysterically began hitting them with a broom, but luckily, they managed to slip into their grandmother's room at the crucial moment. After listening to Lorimer's explanation, the grandmother finally understood that all this was the doing of the witches. Hence, they planned to steal the Grand High Witch's magic potion. Coincidentally, the Grand High Witch was staying just downstairs. While the Grand High Witch was out, the grandmother put Lorimer into a sock and lowered him down with a string of yarn. Lorimer quickly began searching, and eventually found the potion on the table. Just as he was about to return the way he came, the Grand High Witch returned, scaring him into hiding. Then, while the Grand High Witch was distracted, he quickly sneaked out and crawled back into the sock. Just as he was about to be pulled up, he was suddenly discovered by the Grand High Witch. Thankfully, the grandmother managed to deceive her with an excuse, and they successfully secured the potion. With that, a plan to exterminate the witches was born. In the kitchen, a mouse scurried in, eyed the pot of soup below, and when the chefs weren't paying attention, she placed the mysterious potion on the spoon handle, which then perfectly fell into the soup pot. As it turned out, this pea soup was intended for the witch's dinner, and the potion in it was a rodent transformation potion that could wipe out the witches once and for all. The children, who had been turned into mice, along with their grandmother, were also ready to enjoy this spectacle. As planned, the witches one after another drank the pea soup. However, just as the Grand High Witch was about to take a sip, she suddenly recognized the grandmother. As it turned out, the grandmother had almost been caught by a witch when she was little. Just then, a witch suddenly began shaking, and after a loud bang, she flew into the air and morphed into a rat. It seemed the potion was taking effect. Soon after, the witches one by one soared into the air, turning into rats. The dining room instantly descended into chaos with continuous shrieks. Seeing the plan succeed, the grandmother quietly left the dining room with the children and headed to the Grand High Witch's room. The grandmother decided to take away all the harmful potion, but she accidentally dropped a bottle. The children rushed to pick it up, but the Grand High Witch happened to return to her room, and danger was imminent. Yet the grandmother was unaware. The Grand High Witch instantly extended her long claws, and at the brink of danger, the children placed a mousetrap on the Grand High Witch's foot. As the trap sprang, the Grand High Witch began yelling in pain. Seeing this, Lorimer used the mousetrap to catapult the potion into the air, which flew directly into the Grand High Witch's mouth. After a violent shake, the Grand High Witch suddenly leapt to the ceiling and turned into an ugly super rat. She frantically chased the children, and just as she was about to catch the chubby boy, the grandmother covered her with a glass jar, turning her into a tasty treat for the cat. All the evil witches were finally exterminated. At the end of the story, although the children remained as mice forever, they still maintained an optimistic attitude and lived happily.